In art, there's no shortcuts, but frameworks are about the closest thing to it. A framework is a mental tool used to help with decision making. These frameworks are extremely useful in art because that's really all we're doing, is making endless amounts of creative decisions. A framework used all the time in cinematography is far-side lighting. If you look at pretty much any movie still, you'll notice the light is behind the subject. This is not an accident. One of our goals as cinematographers is to create depth on a 2D image. Far-side lighting is one of the best ways to do this. If I wasn't aware of this framework, I would be completely lost on set. I could probably make it look good through pure trial and error, but it would take forever. When you understand frameworks, there's no guesswork. You understand what you're creating on a conceptual level, the qualities that work, don't work, and why. This idea of far-side lighting is just one of many mental frameworks in cinematography. If you understand the frameworks of whatever medium of art you create, you fast-track your path to mastery. These frameworks save time and help you make better decisions. So often in the past, when someone would ask me why I like a certain shot over another, I would just say, I don't know, it feels right, or I don't know, it just is. This is the rhetoric of an amateur. If you don't understand the particular qualities of what you like in something, and not just that you like it as a whole, then you won't have the ability to replicate it in your own art. So how do we create our own mental frameworks? By studying the essential qualities of the work you want to emulate. Not the details, the big picture. Ask yourself, how can I break down whatever art I'm studying into first principles? When you do this, whatever remains is the essential qualities of that thing. That is what you should create a mental framework for, so you don't have to think about it in the future. This takes work, and this takes a lot of thinking and just chewing on stuff. You know, I challenge you to, after this video, not just watch another video, but, pull out a piece of paper and actually do this. And, you might not be able to think of it right away, and that's good. Chewing on the big picture concepts of whatever your art medium is about is essential to mastery. It's important to remember the biggest picture of all is reality. Ironically, I would say the most important framework to understand, and the first framework you should understand, is that all frameworks are just guides. They're not actually what's happening. Even though the majority of the time I use far-side lighting, there's been a handful of moments in my career where it just wasn't the right choice. If you imprison yourself to mental frameworks and guides, you'll probably be good, but you won't ever be great. This is why it's so important to understand the why of a framework. If the specific story you're trying to tell or emotion you're trying to evoke doesn't fit the why of the mental framework, then drop it. It's not useful anymore. Like I said, there's no shortcuts in art. If you want to see some of my work, here's my reel. I'm a director and cinematographer based in Los Angeles. I'm also a colorist, and I would love to hear about your project. And tell me what you think about this idea of mental frameworks in the comments. I want to hear what your mental frameworks are and if this has been useful in your career.